I guess just moving on to animation in general. I
Mm-hmm.
finished Neon Genesis Evangelion last night. I had two
What'd you
episodes
think?
left, or yeah, I had two episodes left. Finished it up, and those last two episodes sucked. I went to to the
Mm,
internet to see if I was alone in this thought, but it is famously divisive, as I found out. Um,
I see.
a lot of people don't like the ending. It's very clearly, I feel like, especially since they made a movie afterwards called The End of Evangelion that is meant to be like an alternate final two episodes. That is
Mm-hmm.
really good and way better than the actual final two episodes of the show. And you can tell what happened was they just like either something happened with the budget or they ran out of time. And
Right.
clearly back in I think like 96 when the finales aired, they realized that this is people don't like this, and they made the movie to kind of satiate everybody who was like, this isn't good. What are you doing? This is not a good way to end this show. It
Right.
was just such a huge departure from everything the show was doing up to that point, and it felt so out of place. The last two
Mm,
episodes, it completely went it went in a way different direction. I felt like it should have, and then the movie kind
mm-hmm.
of fixed that and went in the direction I
That's good.
expected it to go. And I was like, and I was gonna watch the movie tonight and then talk about the movie next week. But I was just sitting there like, I can't leave it off like this. I gotta watch this movie because I really did not like those last two episodes. I was sitting there, I kept looking at my phone to see the time, and I kept like looking at how much time is left in the episodes. That's how much I did not like the last two episodes. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I need these episodes
Oof.
to end. They are bad.
Immediately.
They're bad to me. Like I said, it's device. Some people like
Yeah.
them, some people don't. But like in my opinion, I think they're worth watching before you watch the movie, The End of Evangelion, because they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can for sure just not watch those last two episodes and go straight to the movie, and you won't be confused. But there is just a little bit more context you get about the minds of a lot of different characters. If
Right.
you watch those two episodes before the movie, that I appreciated. But like, man, I didn't like those last two episodes. But no,
Really
overall though, great show. 26 episode series. Those last two episodes don't
good.
don't necessarily ruin it for me. It wouldn't have ruined it for me, but it would have been disappointing if the movie didn't exist. But because the movie existed and
Right.
fixed every problem I had with the finale, it's great. I see why people love it, and I see it's why it's so beloved. It's incredible. I love it. It's great. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking recently about how Konami's remaking their games. They remade Silent Hill, remaking
Right.
Snake Eater, which we'll talk about later. Um, and eventually they'll probably get around to remaking Castlevania, which we'll also talk about later. There hasn't been any rumors. I just have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's another specifically Kojima created Konami series that I think would be interesting
Mm-hmm.
to get a remake, and that is Zone of the Enders, which was Kojima's
Ooh.
mecha video game, and I have it. I have Zone of the Enders and Zone of the Enders 2 on PS3. And I've played a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
them, and they're like what's those games called? Armored Core style, flying around, playing as a mech, fighting on
Oh.
the robots style games, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
much taking inspiration from Evangelion. You can tell, and I feel like bringing those back, and because I'm on such a Persona kick, I'm like bringing that back, taking
Mm-hmm.
even more inspiration from Ava, and adding a Persona 5 element of like all the stuff you do outside of the combat, outside of mementos, outside of Tartarus and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff with
Right.
like hanging out with friends and going to restaurants and studying and all of that plus instead of going out to like Tartarus or Mentos to fight shadows, you're going out in a mech to fight other mechs would be cool. um
That would be
if they
sexy.
ever decide to bring that franchise back. But yeah, you know Evangelion was great.
Hmm.
I definitely
Yeah.
couldn't recommend it more. It's very famous. I don't need to recommend it. Everybody knows you should probably check it out. But
Right.
I recommend it also.